Hello, welcome to our spring Ohigan service on March 20th, 2022. We begin service with ringing of Kansho, followed by Reverend Mukojima offering an aspiration. Then he will lead sutra chanting of Juseige. Then the Dharma School 5th and 6th grade class will lead us in recitation of the Six Paramita. Then our guest speaker, Reverend Hoshu Matsubayashi, will deliver a Dharma School message. And then we will hear some words of appreciation from Temple President Bob Matsumoto. Then Matsubayashi Sensei will give an adult Dharma message, and we will then have the Mountain View Choir presenting the Gata Ondokusan. Thank you for joining us today.
wonder, it's no 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 wonder, no wonder, it's no wonder. Today, on this occasion of the spring Ohigan service, the members of the Mountain View Buddhist Temple and the friends of the Dharma have reverently gathered to praise the virtue of the Buddha. One of the seven Pyalana masters, Shantao, said, on the spring and autumn equinox, the sun rises due east and sets due west. Beyond 100,000 kotes of Buddha lands westward from here, there is the Pure Land of Amida Buddha, called utmost perfect bliss. As Nembu's followers did long ago, we observe Ohigan in both spring and fall. Those of us who wish to be born in the Pure Land to attain enlightenment expect to reach our spiritual home, far off in the distant west, where the sun sets, the Pure Land of peace. By the great guidance of our founder Shinna, we are so fortunate to be able to encounter the Nembu's teaching, and thus be assured of birth in the Pure Land of peace. There is nothing we can be more grateful for than the fact that we were born into human life. In this moment of meditation, let's express our sincere respect and gratitude to Amida Buddha for his great wisdom and compassion as we remember our beloved family members and friends who have returned to the Pure Land as a Buddha. Please put your hands together in Gashu. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Nawanda Butsu, Nawanda Butsu, Nawanda Butsu, Nawanda Butsu, Nawanda Butsu. Nawanda Butsu, Nawanda Butsu. Nawanda Butsu, Nawanda Butsu.
And now the 5th and 6th grade will present the 6 Paramitas.
Donna, giving.
I shall give unselfishly to others.
Sila, discipline.
I shall follow the teachings of the Buddha.
Shanti, patience. I shall be patient and understanding.
Vidya, endeavor.
I shall do my best in all things.
Sydney. Sydney?
I shall reflect on the teachings of the Buddha.
Prajna, wisdom. I shall seek the light of wisdom.
Please join me in Gasho. Namo Dapsu.
Namo.
Doubts.
Namo Dapsu.
No one doubts.
Namo Dapsu.
No one doubts. No one doubts.
Namo.
Good morning, Dharma School student. We are observing spring Higan service this morning. Higan is a Japanese term which means the other shore of enlightenment and nirvana. Higan is observed twice a year on spring and fall equinox. The weather is comfortable during these times of year, and it is nice time to reflect upon the other shore of nirvana. A Sanskrit word for Higan is paramita, which means reaching the other shore of nirvana. Paramita also means perfection. Buddhism set up the 6 kinds of perfection which lead us to the other shore of nirvana. I'm sure all of you Dharma School students already learned the 6 kinds of perfection, paramitas. The 6 kinds of perfections are: first, Dana paramita, giving; second, Sila paramita, precept; 3, Kshanti paramita, patient; 4, Virya paramita, effort; 5, Dhyana paramita, meditation; and 6, Prajna paramita, wisdom. Shakyamuni Buddha was able to fulfill the 6 kinds of perfection to reach the other shore of nirvana, a happy and peaceful state. Shinran Shonin also taught us we can attain nirvana, a peace and happy state, with the teaching of Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. This morning, I would like to share with you how we Jodo Shinshu Buddhists can become happy. When we are looking for happiness, I recall a famous poem, Over the Mountains, by Carl Busset. Over the mountain, far to travel, people say happiness dwells. Alas, I went in the crowd of others and returned with a tear-tainted face. Over the mountain, far to travel, people say happiness dwells. This poem reminds us, no matter how far we go over the mountains, we are not able to find happiness. On the other hand, Japanese poem, Iroha Uta, or Song of Iroha, tell us how we can find happiness. Some of you who studied Japanese probably learned Iroha Uta, Song of Iroha, in order to memorize all 47 Japanese characters. Song of Iroha was composed with the Japanese 47 characters without repeating any character, based on the teaching of the Nirvana Sutra. Iroha ni hohe to chirinuru o. The colorful flowers are blooming fragrantly, but they will all fall and scatter. Waga yo tare zo tsune naran. Who can live in this world forever? Ui no Okuyama kyo koete, the remote mountain path of the created existence of the world of samsara is transcended today. Asaki yume mishi eimo sezu. I'm in the peaceful state of nirvana, in happiness, awakening from a dream and not intoxicated. Shakyamuni Buddha was born as a prince of Kapilavastu Castle of Shakya Crown. He was named as Siddhartha, which means every wish fulfilled. Prince Siddhartha was able to transcend the created existence of the world of samsara and reach the uncreated world of nirvana. He was able to eliminate all his blind passion and fulfill the six kinds of perfection. He attained a peace and happy state of nirvana to become the Buddha. Buddhism was transmitted from India to China and Japan as Mahayana Buddhism. As the highest development of Mahayana Buddhism, Shindan Shonin established Jodo Shinshu Buddhism with wisdom, prajna, and compassion, karuna, of Amida Buddha. Wisdom and compassion are just like one coin of both sides. They work together. Shindan Shonin taught us in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism that instead of practicing the all six kinds of perfection, paramita, we receive Amida Buddha's wisdom, prajna, to attain nirvana, state of peace and happy. Shindan Shonin addressed Amida Buddha as Tathagata. The word Tathagata in Sanskrit consists of two words, Tatha and Agata. Tatha means suchness and wisdom and compassion. Agata means coming. So Tathagata means, in English, thus come, or coming to us. Shindan Shonin taught us the light of wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha is always coming us. We acknowledge with the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. When you look at the statue of Amida Buddha in the shrine, Amida Buddha shows his right hand up, symbolizing wisdom, and left hand down, symbolizing compassion, And also you see 48 rays behind his head, representing 48 vows and compassion and wisdom. Shindan Shonin taught us that the light of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion is coming to us all the time. It is very difficult to realize wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. A Japanese poet, Misuzu Kaneko, who was born in Yamaguchi Prefecture in Japan, wrote a beautiful poem and reminded us to see the things invisible in her poem. In the deep blue sky, like the pebble at the bottom of the sea, the daytime star, sinking until night comes, are invisible to our eyes. But though we cannot see them, they are there. Things invisible are still there. This beautiful poem reminds us to see the invisible light of wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. A famous songwriter, Ei Rokusuke, who wrote the original song of very popular sukiyaki song in the United States, Ue o muite arukou yo. Look at the sky and walk together. He was born as the sixth son of Jodo Shinshu Buddhist temple in Asakusa, Tokyo. He once said, the meaning of Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu, is I love you. His explanation of the Nembutsu is very unique. It's probably different from what you learn at the Dharma School, but I think it is a wonderful way to understand the Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu. Amida Buddha is calling us, I love you, and we can respond to Amida Buddha, I love you too. Namu Amida Butsu. When we realize Amida Buddha is looking for us just like our parents, we become happy. On the occasion of Spring Higan service, let us all express our appreciation to Shindan Shonin for showing us a way to a happy state of nirvana with the teaching of Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu. Thank you very much for joining us to service this morning. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's Spring Ohigan service. I'd like to first take this opportunity to thank Reverend Matsubayashi for his Dharma message to our Dharma School students. I'm looking forward to hearing your message to the adults. I would also like to thank the 5th and 6th grade class for the reading of the 6 Paramitas. I hope everyone is able to stay to join us for our Spring Ohigan seminar with Reverend Matsubayashi.
I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to Reverend Yushi Mukojima and Mountain View Buddhist Temple Sangha for giving me an opportunity to speak to you on the occasion of Spring Higan service. Higan is a Japanese term which means the other shore of enlightenment and nirvana, Higan service is observed twice a year on spring and fall equinox. Japanese often say, Atsusa samusa mo higan made. Hot or cold remains until Higan. Higan is ideal times to reflect upon ourselves and also the world of Buddha. A Sanskrit word of Higan is Paramita, which means reaching to the other shore, and it also means perfection. Buddhism set up the 6 kinds of perfection, Paramita, which lead us to attain enlightenment, nirvana. They are giving, precept, patience, effort, meditation, and wisdom. Shakyamuni Buddha was able to fulfill the 6 kinds of perfection to attain nirvana. He was born as Prince of Kapilavastu Castle of Shaka clan, and he was named as Siddhartha, which means every wish will be fulfilled. There is a legendary story of excursion from the 4 gates, east, west, south, and north of Kapilavastu Castle before he renounced his royal life. The story tells us that Prince Siddhartha was brought up very comfortably in the castle. One day, on the way to an outside party, he observed an old person. He discovered that once a person is born, the person cannot escape from getting old. He started to worry and suffered about his life. On the second occasion, he saw a sick person. On the third occasion, he saw a dead person. On the 4th occasion, he met a peaceful, meditating monk, and he discussed about his suffering with the monk. He discovered the first time that birth, old age, sickness, and death are the suffering of all human beings in this world. He renounced his royal life to solve this human problem and became a monk, a seeker of the truth, at the age of 29. After he practiced for 6 years, he sat in a meditation, dhyana, under the Bodhi tree and obtained the supreme wisdom prajna to become the enlightened one, the Buddha, at the age of 35. He taught and spread the teaching of the Buddha until he passed away at the age of 80. Shakyamuni Buddha expounded the Nirvana Sutra as his final scripture before he passed away and taught how to solve birth, old age, sickness, and death, and to attain nirvana in one of his gathas of the Nirvana Sutra. The gatha was translated into Chinese like this: Shogyo Mujo, everything is impermanent. Desho Meppo, This is the teaching of birth and death in the world of samsara. Shoumetsu metsui, having transcended birth and death, Jakujo iraiku, nirvana, a peace and happy state, will be attained. So this is the gatha of the Nirvana Sutra, which Shakyamuni Buddha taught us to solve birth, old age, sickness, and death. Now I present to Dharma School students also. This gatha was composed in Japanese as Song of Iroha by using all 47 Japanese characters without repeating any character. The song was composed according to the gatha of Nirvana Sutra. The song became very popular in Japan because Song of Iroha explained how to overcome birth, old age, sickness, and death in this world to attain nirvana, a peace and happy state. The important part of Song of Iroha is to transcend the remote mountain path of the created existence in the world of samsara, birth, old age, sickness, and death. By transcending the created existence of the world of samsara, we attain the uncreated world of nirvana, suchness, and a peace and happy state. So, いろはにほえとちりぬるを我が世たれぞ常ならんういの奥山今日を越えて朝き夢見しえひもせず The colorful flowers are blooming fragrantly, but they will all fall and scatter. Who in this world can live forever? The remote mountain paths of the created existence in the world of samsara is transcended today. I'm in the state of nirvana, awakening from dream and not intoxicated. Buddhism was transmitted from India to China and Japan as Mahayana Buddhism. Shinran Shonin established the Jodo Shinshu Buddhism with the absolute other power of wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha as the highest development of Mahayana Buddhism. A famous Buddhist scholar, Dr. Daisetsu Suzuki, once said, of all the development Mahayana Buddhism has achieved in the Far East, the most remarkable one is the Jodo Shinshu of the Pure Land School. Suchness in the uncreated world means truth, wisdom, and compassion. Suchness is Sanskrit word is tatha, and tatha of suchness approaches as tathagata. The word tathagata consists of two words, tatha, which means suchness, wisdom, compassion, and agata, which means coming. Therefore, tathagata means thus come, or coming to us. In Japanese, we call Nyorai, the one who has come from suchness, wisdom, and compassion. Shinran Shonin addressed Amida Buddha as Tathagata. The light of wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha is always approaching us. Shinran Shonin taught us that we receive wisdom, prajna, from Amida Buddha, Tathagata. Therefore, we Jodo Shinshu Buddhists practice the 6 kinds of perfection with the guidance of wisdom, prajna. Shinran Shonin stated in the Shoshinge, if the single thought of joy and gratitude is awakened in us, by realizing the compassionate light of Amida Buddha, we shall attain nirvana without eliminating blind passion. It is very difficult to realize compassionate light of Amida Buddha. Shinran Shonin stated in one of his poems, although my eyes, blinded by evil passion, do not see the Amida's light, which can embrace me, the great compassion never tires, always casting light upon me. Professor Komei Shiojiri of Kobe University Philosophy Department once said, "My mother did not have much education, but she had wisdom to accept everything in gratitude." I thought that she was a wonderful Nembutsu follower. She was able to accept everything positively. The Tanisho state the meaning of Nembutsu as Nembutsu is the unimpeded single path. Nembutsu shawa muge no ichido nari. Myokonin, a devout Jodo Shinshu Nembutsu follower, Shomatsu, once said, "Morota, morota, yokichi e morota, guchi ga kansha ni kawaru chie." In English, I received the wonderful wisdom, the wisdom which turned my complaint to gratitude. I thought it's wonderful. Morota, morota, yoki chie morota, guchi ga kansha de kawaru chie. I received wonderful wisdom, which my complaints turned to gratitude. Shinran Shonin taught that primal vow of compassion and wisdom of Amida Buddha is like a ship to carry us to the other shore of nirvana. Shoji no kukai hotori nashi, hisashiku shizumeru warera oba, mida guzei no fune no mizo nosete kanarazu watashikeri. The ocean of birth and death, of painful existence, has no bound. Only by the ship of Amida Buddha's universal vow can we, who have been long suffering, unfadingly be brought across the ocean. This poem reminds me of a famous Japanese folk song, Kushimoto Bushi, of Kushimoto City, Wakayama Prefecture. When I was a Dimban of Seattle Veteran, I used to go to Nikkei Senior Citizens Home to conduct the Buddhist services. There was a lady from Kushimoto City, and I used to sing Kushimoto Bushi during my greeting to her. ここは串本、向かいは大島、中を取り持つ巡行船。あらよいしょよいしょ。Here is the Kushimoto. The opposite side is Oshima Island. A go-between is a ferry boat. Ara yoisho yoisho. I enjoy the folk song with the Nembutsu Namu Amida Butsu. Like Shindan Shoni said, it's like a ship. I will say, ここはマウンテンビュー、向かいはお浄土、中を取り持つ南無阿弥陀仏、あら何万打仏、何万打仏。Here is the mountain view. The opposite side, the other shore, is the pure land. A go-between is Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Ara Namandab, Namandab, Nambandab, Nembutsu will certainly carry us to the other shore of the pure land. Over 10 years ago, my grandson, who was around 6 years old, attended one of the major services at Seattle Veteran, and he looked at me with the formal Buddhist robe and said, "Ji-chan, you are like a Kung Fu master." He is now 18 years old. He doesn't call me anymore. You are like Kung Fu master. I'm experiencing the adult age sickness, such as diabetes and high blood pressure. Old age and sickness are my important concern nowadays. I'm now 86 years old. I'm getting close to death. But my death will be the day to travel to the Pure Land. A famous songwriter, Eido Kusuke, who was born as the sixth son of Jodo Shinshu Buddhist temple family in Asakusa, Tokyo, wrote a bestseller book, Dai-Ojo, The Great Birth into the Pure Land. In his book, he stated the teaching of Jodo Shinshu with his unique styles. 生まれてきてよかった。生きてきてよかった。そう思って死ぬことができるでしょうか。そう思って死ぬことを大往生と言います。At the time of death, if you think how lucky I was born into human life and how lucky I was able to live until today, if you die with this thought, your death will be the great birth into the Pure Land. Now, the three treasures, Sankiemon, also remind us, hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teaching of the Buddha. Now we hear it. Ninjin uke ga tashi, 今すでに浮く。仏法を聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。We are grateful to be born into human life. And we are also grateful to live until today. We are also grateful that we are able to listen the Buddha Dharma, the teaching of Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. In the Jodo Shinshu Buddhist tradition, Higan is also called Sambutsu-e, or gathering of praise the Buddha's teaching. Let us all express our appreciation and gratitude to Shindan Shonin for showing us the teaching of Nembutsu, which assure us to attain nirvana, a peace and happy state, and pure land. I wish to read and conclude my Dharma talk with a reading Gobunsho epistle. Attaining the entrancing heart lies in understanding the 18th vow. To understand this vow means to understand what Namo Amida Butsu is. And so, when one takes refuge, that is Namo in Amida, in one's thought of moment, making aspiration and directing virtue is implied. This means that Amida Tathagata direct virtue to us. This is taught in the Raja Sutra as bringing all sentient beings to the attainment of virtue. So it follows that all the karmic evil and blind passion which we have given rise to since the beginningless past are completely extinguished by the inconceivable vow power. Hence, we dwell in the stage of truly settled. This is the meaning of the attainment. We attain nirvana without eliminating blind passion. This teaching is unique to our tradition, Jodo Shinshu, humbly and respectfully. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida